So a lot of us have been sitting here patiently waiting for Valve to drop something new, to give us some new content, to give us something to work with, because it's been a while. And yeah, Premiere Season 2 is fun, and that's cool, and I'm glad we finally ended Season 1 and got to Season 2. And hey, the Armory is actually really cool. I think it's one of the better, CS updates of all time. But it is still coming to that time where we're ready for something new. Things are getting a little bit boring. Things are getting a little bit stale. We also have the Austin Major, and, the rest of 2025 to look forward to, and a peaking player base, and people ready to throw their money at something new. But in this video today, I'm going to be talking about why Valve teased and baited us really, really hard, but also why they give us a little bit of a glimpse into the future and what kind of content is coming to CS2 next. So hopefully it should be a good and interesting video. Of course, first, I just want to mention my cash trading business. If you guys are looking to sell any of your CS2 items, turn them into cold hard cash, crypto, or any other payment method, definitely hit me up over on Twitter. It's going to be the first link in the description below. We like to buy anything and everything for the right price, but obviously we like to get those bigger deals done. So if you have any expensive skins, knives, gloves, bulk cases, maybe sell your whole inventory, whatever, I can help you cash out safely, effectively, and efficiently. And by selling to me, you're helping support me, my channel, and my content. With that being said, let's get right into this video today. So over the past week or so, this is 2 days ago, Osni and many other people out there in the CS community who track stuff like this, the updates to Counter-Strike, when they're messing with the files, when they're doing stuff, whatever. Osni tweeted out early, CS2 developer activity spotted, is Valve cooking? And they said, hey, more activity here. And people are starting to get more and more hyped up about something coming very, very soon. Some kind of big update, whatever. Obviously, we have, that X Mercy bet still going on where he's betting somebody like $8,000 or $9,000 that there's going to be a significant, a newsworthy, noteworthy CS2 update by the end of March. And hey, now at this point, there's only 9 days left for that to happen. And if he was so confident to put, almost 5 figures on the line for something like that, and this is going to be a very, very big deal. But I'm sure him and many other people were getting pretty excited. I'm sure the guy on the other end of that bet was starting to sweat a little bit that we might be getting that big update soon. And this eventually led us to this update from Valve on March 20th at 7:14 p.m. After all that work, after, them getting ready and putting out whatever feelers and getting those app updates ready, whatever. This is the update they dropped on us. And obviously this was a big tease, and Valve has done this before, and I've never understood why they did it before. I don't know if they think that this is funny and they get like a laugh out of this, or if this is their joke or their prank, or if they really just want to put this out, because it doesn't make sense to me. Sometimes Valve does undocumented changes or updates or whatever. Sometimes they edit things in the game and don't make a whole update about it. So why do they feel the need to sometimes make these one-line updates? And yes, you might say, hey, this is a 2-line update or a 2-bullet point update or whatever. But again, maps updating Basalt to the latest version from the Steam Workshop, that's not them doing anything. That's, a map that somebody else made and updated and whatever, and Valve's just pushing that through. So the only thing that they actually did here was add the ability to author and submit patterns for the missing link charm to Counter-Strike 2 Steam Workshop. So is that really worth a whole update? Was that worth a whole tweet, a whole whatever, like a whole post about? No, not really. That's stupid. That's annoying. But it is capitalizing on the fact that people are really hyped up and excited and waiting for an update right now. And this is also probably in some ways Valve acknowledging that people are on the edge of their seat waiting for something, because otherwise, if this was just like a time where they were putting out updates all the time, I don't think they would put out something this small. I don't think it would even be worth their time, whatever. But I do think that once you start putting everything together, that Valve is putting out something silly and stupid like this, probably playing a little bit of a joke, probably laughing a little bit at us behind the scenes. But also the fact that they have been tweeting and stuff recently, the fact that we haven't gotten a new update, in quite some time. It's been almost 6 months since the Armory. It's been over a year now since the last case in the active duty. There's just so many dots you can start connecting, start putting together, that shows we should or probably will be getting a big update and a significant update sometime pretty soon. Again, we have the Austin Major in June, so these big updates usually don't clash too much with those, so we got to kind of get something before or after. So we're kind of running out of time, and the window's kind of closing for when that significant update could even come. But obviously here, the big interesting thing is that they have added the ability to author and submit patterns for the missing link charm to Counter-Strike 2 Steam Workshop. Now, that is something very, very significant, because this shows us that pretty much at some point, or very, very likely at some point, we don't know if it's going to be near future or far in the future, whatever, we're probably going to be getting community missing link charms. Now, we have heard previously that Valve was, adding the ability to submit community charms to the workshop, and, we didn't, obviously that meant we could be getting community charms at some point, but I didn't know they were necessarily going to be doing, the missing link charms, whatever. And to me, this is a little bit disappointing, because I don't know. I don't think the missing link charms are as funny or as cool or as interesting, maybe as some people do, especially some people at Valve must do, because not only did they already put out a whole missing link charm series, but now they want apparently even more missing link charms. And to me, we already did the missing link stuff. The sausage, thing was funny about them making sausage jokes and whatever. It was kind of funny. It was kind of weird as a one-off thing. I think it's fine. And you have some pretty cool ones. I think Diamond Dog is pretty cool. I think Hot Howl is pretty cool. But there's a lot of the ones that are like pretty stupid and kind of ugly as well. But then as we start to get into even more and more ideas, like the missing link template, there's only so much can be done with it. There's so much creativity. And eventually at some point, I don't think people are really going to care that much. And also, they don't usually look that cool or that good with a ton of weapons. I don't think many people's loadouts, or setups or whatever is going to need to include a missing link charm. Like, to me, that doesn't really cut it. When I think there's so many other cooler opportunities and things that people could get creative with and do with charms. But I did want to take a look at some of the charms, because obviously now that the community knows you can start to release missing link charms, the community has been hard at work, and people have been putting out some charms both on Twitter and now I think slowly into the Steam Workshop. Now, I will say, to make like a high quality thing and like a piece of art, which essentially these are, it does take time. So, maybe the good ones or the better ones or the really, really high quality ones you maybe won't see for a couple of weeks or months or whatever from now. These ones that people are putting out now, how much work could have really gone into these? A couple of days? Like, I don't know. Not that you can't do, good art in a couple of days or whatever, but it is possible we get some of the really, really high quality or even better ones later on down the line. But people have been putting out a ton of these, and these could be charms that eventually we do see come into CS2, since it does seem like Valve wants to release these at some point. So looking at all the different options and possibilities, this one I think is kind of cute, kind of funny. This is actually one of the ones that I wouldn't mind as much. I could see people using this on certain guns, on certain crafts, whatever. It's kind of a funny one. I get it. I also do think it'll be interesting because obviously a big part of the armory, the charms that we have in the armory right now, both the missing link charms and the whatever the other ones are called, the weapon charms. Part of that is the fact that there is the the templates from 1 to 100,000, and people really, really seem to like that idea of being able to get the different templates and different colors and things changing on them or whatever. So it will be interesting to see if that is something Valve is going to continue to do with these community charms. And if that is going to be the case, you will need to create and kind of keep in mind that your charms will need to have something that can be maybe changed or affected or impacted to make some differentiation between the other charms. And ultimately, I do think that is necessary, especially since charms as an item class can't be consumed. If you just have, a standalone charm that is not going to have any differences between it, I think those ones are pretty lame. And they're just going to become oversaturated and oversupplied very, very, very quickly, where if you at least have a huge, spectrum template of a bunch of different possibilities, that at least lowers the chance of it getting older and stale and oversaturated and oversupplied, whatever. But I think that's kind of a cool one. We have here the Nasty Piggy. This one I think is like kind of gross, kind of weird. This is not necessarily one that I would be that excited about or care that much about, but hey, maybe some people would want to use this one. I don't know. This is something that people created. We have the Bully Tea and the Sausage Charms. Again, these ones both to me don't really look that great. It kind of looks like, these were made in a day or two, if that makes sense. I can't really see these ever really being added to the game. I don't think they're near the quality enough or anything like that. But hey, people are making stuff, and that is good. I'm always, in support of people creating new stuff. Here's kind of a pretty interesting one. This one actually has some details and looks pretty intricate, kind of funny, kind of weird. I don't know. We do have the Among Us, sus links. Obviously, I don't think Among Us is going to be being put in, but I think it's kind of a funny idea. We have this one. I don't really know what the heck that is, but that one exists. And then we have one that's literally just a sausage, which looks kind of gross, and I don't really think that's one that I would be going for. We have this. We have the clown one. This one I actually think would be pretty funny. This guy has some screenshots of it actually being on weapons and stuff as well. But again, is that like something that I think people need to have as part of their loadout? Is it, people are going to be like, oh, I would love to have the fire serpent with the clown charm on it or something like that. Like, no, not necessarily. And I think ultimately, the good charms that are really going to fit into people's loadouts and people's whole look and everything. Like, people right now are so particular about, oh, I want to have a good agent with good gloves and a good knife and then good skins and a color combination or coordination or things that go together. And it's like, okay, do I need to throw a freaking sausage link onto my gun somewhere to make this whole thing come together? I don't necessarily know. Here's some keychains as well that this guy made. This one's a lot of really weird different options going on here, but hey, these are stuff that people made. I can't necessarily see any of those getting put in the game, but there it is. You have this golden one, which I think is kind of interesting. It's at least gold. It probably, shines nice in the light and stuff, and This one doesn't have a face or anything, which is maybe a little bit different than a lot of the other ones. Here we have the Greedy Melanaire, which is a watermelon with some money. They're all kind of, a lot of them have like butt cheeks on it and stuff too, which I think is weird. I don't know why that's like the main detail that everyone honed in on in the community one so far. We have the Bee-Hop Charm. I think this one's kind of funny. It's a, rabbit at least. Again, maybe you can make it jump around like that if you wiggle your gun the right way. Here we have the Penguin. This one I could see, being interesting. You can have the penguin with the different color gloves, the different color eyes. Here we have the mini chicken. This one's like has a little worm in its mouth. That one's kind of funny. Here, this one just kind of simple. It's like looks like the Walmart logo or something like that to me. The little smiley face. But yeah, simple one. Could see that one working out decently well. Here we have the Bebop. I don't know, just like a little robot guy. This one I actually think is kind of cool. One has some very, very nice details on it with the cogs and all the the electricity stuff going on the front of it. It's got the panel on the back. This one I think is actually nice. I think someone put a decent amount of effort and time into that. And then finally we have this one we already saw, I guess, the Children's Surprise. Again, this one is pretty crazy. So I don't know, right now so far I haven't really been too impressed or too blown away with many of the charms that the community has been making and putting out, but like I said, I think that could definitely get better as we go forward in the future. But also I'm a little bit disappointed if Valve wants more missing link charms, because to me, like I said, missing link charms just don't really do it for me. They're not really something that I'm that interested in, either as an investment or as just like an item to own or collect or anything like that. So I'll more be holding out for when we get some more cool and interesting charms, or maybe just charms aren't for me at all. I don't necessarily know. To me, there's still plenty of other places to look and see in the market. But again, we got teased by Valve. We didn't necessarily get a big update or anything like that just yet, but we did get a peek into the future to know that missing link charms and more community-made missing link charms are probably coming sooner rather than later. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully I catch the next one. Until then, peace.